This is Tony T here from Tony'sPicks.com with our free college football pick show here for Friday, October 18th. We'll have all 4 games for you, picks from them. If you're looking for more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you're looking for my best bets, my premium plays, click the link in the description. That'll get you my page here at Tony'sPicks.com. So let's get this one going here. We'll start with Florida State and Duke here for Friday night action. Florida State fell to 1-5, a 29-13 home defeat to Clemson. The Seminoles gained 250 yards, 22 rushing on 23 attempts. Defensively, they allowed 500 yards to the Tigers with 265 rushing yards for 6.6 yards a carry. Brock Glenn here, 23 of 41 passing for 228 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Duke now 5-1, a 24-14 road defeat at Georgia Tech. The Blue Devils put up 279 yards, 74 rushing for 3.7 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 412 yards to the Yellow Jackets with 245 rushing for 5 yards a carry. Malik Murphy here, 18 of 31 passing for 205 yards with 2 touchdowns and a pick. Florida State has struggled on the ground this season, 2.2 yards a carry. They're completing 53% of their passes for 6.4 yards per pass attempt. Defensively, the Seminoles allow 4.4 yards per rush, 8 yards per pass attempt. Duke's rushing for 3.6 yards a carry. They average 240 yards passing per game, 6.9 yards per pass attempt. The team allows 3.8 yards per rush, only 4.8 yards per pass attempt. Now, Florida State on the road has poor pass defense, giving up a 69% completion rate, 10.3 yards per pass attempt. They gave up 33 points a game away from home. But Duke, against the conference, giving up 4.5 yards a carry on the ground. Again, that's against the ACC this year. The pick here will be on Florida State and Duke over 42. All right, let's get to the next one here. Oregon and Purdue going head-to-head. All right, Oregon now 6-0, a 32-31 home win to Ohio State. The Ducks put up 496 yards, 155 rushing for 5 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 367 yards to the Buckeyes, 326 passing on 35 attempts. Dylan Gabriel, 23 of 34 passing for 341 yards with 2 touchdowns. He rushed for 32 yards and a touchdown in the game. Purdue now 1-5, a 50-48 road defeat to Illinois. The Boilermakers gained 536 yards, 239 rushing for 7.5 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 556 yards to the Fighting Illini with 379 passing yards on 34 attempts. Ryan Brown, 18 of 26 passing for 297 yards with 3 touchdowns. He rushed for 118 yards in the game. Oregon rushing for 4.8 yards a carry, and efficient passing attack with 75% completion rate, 8.8 yards per pass attempt. Their defense holds opponents at 3.9 yards per rush, 6.2 yards per pass attempt. Purdue has run the football effectively with 5.4 yards a carry. With efficiency at the quarterback position, they complete 64% of their passes for 7.4 yards per pass attempt. But Purdue's been a very poor defensive team, giving up 5.5 yards a carry, 9.3 yards per pass attempt. Now, Oregon has defended well on the road, giving up 13.5 points per game. Purdue at home against Power 4 schools averaged just 8.5 points a game. Purdue 4-0 the under at home, facing teams that average 31 or greater points per game. Just would expect the Boilermakers to lean heavily on their run game to slow that tempo down and limit those Ducks possessions here. Play here Oregon and Purdue under 60. All right, let's get to the next one here. That would be Oklahoma State and BYU. We got Oklahoma State here 3-3, a 38-14 home defeat to West Virginia. The Cowboys gained 227 yards, 36 rushing on 21 attempts. On defense, they allowed 558 yards to Mountaineers, 389 rushing for 5.7 yards a carry. Garrett Rangel, 4 of 5 passing for 75 yards and a touchdown. He starts over the ineffective Alan Bowman. BYU now 6-0, a 41-19 home win to Arizona. The Cougars posted 398 yards, 147 rushing for 5.5 yards a carry. Defensively, they allowed 389 yards to the Wildcats, 275 passing yards on 52 attempts. Jake Retzlaff here, 18 of 32 passing for 218 yards and 2 touchdowns. Oklahoma State has struggled running the football with 3.2 yards per rush. Accuracy is an issue at quarterback with 58% completion rate. Oklahoma State is a bad defensive team, giving up 235 yards rushing per game, 5.5 yards per run attempt. They allow nearly 8 yards per pass attempt. BYU's rushing for 4.2 yards a carry, throwing for 247 yards, 8.1 yards per pass attempt. listen, BYU has a look of the best defense in the Big 12. Them and Iowa State. BYU's given up 3.7 yards per rush, 5.1 yards per pass attempt. Big 12 teams running down the throat of the Cowboys with little resistance. Oklahoma State allowing 313 yards rushing per game, 6.2 yards per rush, and that's against the conference. Big 12 teams average 8.4 yards per pass attempt against the Cowboys. Play here will be BYU at -9. All right, let's get to the next one here. Fresno State and Nevada going head-to-head. Mountain West teams here. Fresno State fell to 3-3, a 25-17 home defeat to Washington State. The Bulldogs generated 338 yards, 118 rushing for 4.4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 295 yards to the Cougars, 172 passing on 35 attempts. Mikey Keene here, 24 of 36 passing for 220 yards with a touchdown and 2 interceptions. Nevada 3-4 on the year, a 42-37 home win to Oregon State. The Wolfpack gained 419 yards, 353 rushing for 8.4 yards a carry. Defensively, they surrendered 562 yards to the Beavers with 214 rushing for 5 yards a carry. Brendan Lewis hit 5 of 12 passing for 51 yards. He rushed for 151 yards and a touchdown. Fresno State has struggled on the ground this season, 3.4 yards a carry. They complete 66% of their passes for 7.7 yards per pass attempt. On defense, they allow 4.5 yards per rush, 5.9 yards per pass attempt. Nevada is a good offensive team behind 5.6 yards per rush, 68% completion rate for 7 yards per pass attempt. Wolfpack here giving up just 4.5 yards a carry, 7.4 yards per pass attempt. But we have seen a upswing here offensively from Nevada, and they've covered their past 3. Fresno State in conference giving up 6 yards a carry, 40 points a game. The pass defense has been poor in the Mountain West for them. 67% completions allowed for 7.7 yards per pass attempt. Lewis mobility for the Wolfpack is a plus. Fresno State 1-3 to the spread as a road favorite of 7 or fewer points. Player will be Nevada at +2.5. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. And if you're looking for my best bet, my premium plays, click the link in the description. That'll take you to my page here at Tony'sPicks.com. And if you appreciate our work, give us a thumbs up. It's greatly appreciated. I'm Tony T. We'll talk with you later.